we can start. Hi everyone, my name is Menina Chow and I welcome you to this SAP Community Call, which is our community spotlight. So if you have had a chance to look at the SAP community, there you saw SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition spotlighted all over with blog posts, some features, featured content, and that is why we're here with a community call with 4 in total experts joining us, talking about, as you can see, your journey to the intelligent and sustainable enterprise with SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition. And yeah, as always, you are very welcome to engage with us in chat, post your questions, leave a comment, your thoughts, give us a thumbs up or give us your feedback, whatever you like, and stay tuned until the very end, because as always, we will have a Q&A time to address all your questions that you have. At least we're trying very hard. All our speakers here are with me, and you can see them one after the other while they will go through the community call. So with me is Yannick Peterschmidt, Gerhard Welker, Maria Silipo, Syed Talal Hussein, and myself again. And we're very happy to have you here with us on this SAP Community Call. Yeah, with that, I think a further introduction will come in a moment. So I'm handing it right over to Yannick. So the stage floor screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Menina. Thanks to you and the team for, first of all, offering us the opportunity to be the month of SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud Edition. As you said, we did a lot of work there, to share information, product details. And this call today is a bit, closing the month, obviously, after all we did from the blogs to the QA challenge, etc. And we are super happy to bring a few experts on our team. After the legal disclaimer here, you mentioned already, with myself having the pleasure to lead the SAP S/4HANA enablement team in engineering. We have Gerhard, Talal, and Maria that will share their expertise with a lot of passion and fun. And we hope that the passion for the product will be communicative to all the audience today and the one who will listen in later. What is on the agenda? Well, of course, welcome and introduction. This is what we did already jointly, Menina and myself. Then I'll have the pleasure to go a little bit into an area called SAP Build Process Automation. Will be followed by situation handling, where Talal and Gerhard will give you some example. We'll go then in the area of artificial intelligence, machine learning collaboration, run by Maria and Talal. What we'll do is not only talk about the technology per se, but really talk about the technology taking place at the heart of end-to-end business processes, right? Because we think this is really where they come to life. This is where you see as an end user, as a key user in an SAP S/4HANA project, where you see really the benefits for you and for your organizations. But before we dig into that, let me start with the big picture, and then we can dig a bit deeper. We talk here about the intelligent and sustainable enterprise. And this is an enterprise that consistently applies advanced technologies in cloud ERP. You see in the middle here, the heart, the core, the kernel is cloud ERP. An SAP portfolio enables or helps you build this intelligent enterprise by either employing tools to understand what's happening across the business and why it's happening. The portfolio helps infuse AI, machine learning into the business processes, along end-to-end processes. The portfolio embeds sustainable practices into the core of the business strategy and the operations. You have the ability to build a flexible value chain, apply leading-edge industry practices to optimize the business, and lastly, implement vertical industry-specific processes in the cloud to run the value chain end-to-end. And I want to mention again that technologies you see here, especially as part of the suite qualities like the UX, the one workflow inbox, integration, analytics, etc., are not new technology, but they're coming to the next level of maturity. And again, at best, and the midst, at the heart of business processes. And if we zoom a little bit into the suite qualities, in the intelligent enterprise context, our cloud ERP is, of course, sitting or connected to the SAP BTP, the business technology platform, with services like analytics, integration, automation, AI, etc., to support the true digital transformation of our customers, with concretely the setup, the execution of end-to-end business processes that you see on the top, like recruit to hire, source to pay, design to operate, and lead to cash. And if you take the example of analytics with SAP Analytics Cloud as the tool of choice here, obviously, this is a tool that is radiating into all the other cloud solutions here, obviously, right? Therefore, it's a self-speaking and suite quality that is serving the intelligent enterprise stories in terms of embedded and as well cross-analytical capabilities that is offered within this intelligent and sustainable enterprise. So to stay in this domain, you can leverage enterprise analytics that provides the rich line of business analytics insight from all application. But this can be, of course, aligned, connected to non-SAP application, third-party applications, but then back to the suite qualities with the one user experience. And we'll talk about most of those suite qualities delivered by the SAP BTP to enrich the cloud ERP, to enrich the industry-specific applications, to enrich smooth processes between cloud ERP and HCM, with success factors here of spend management and business network, with the Arima network, for example, or CRM. With that, I want to take one of those end-to-end processes to give you a concrete example of where intelligent technology can really come to life and add values to end users. We here in the context of invoice to cash, or some like to call it bleed to cash, depending when you start. Here, we have a soft target at SAP to bring 90% automation in every business processes. How could that look like in invoice to cash? And we are here in SAP S/4HANA AR, accounts receivable, where step one could be not with a human task, but with a bot that would be looking for an incoming remittance advice and loading them into SAP S/4HANA. Of course, the load would be done, taking information from an inbox, for example, or another groupware, and put that in the tool via bot created by SAP Build Process Automation. Now we go to the next level about the payment. The payment details could be automatically extract from the PDF out of an inbox, for example, again, and create payment advice into SAP S/4HANA. So in this case, it would not be an SAP Build Process Automation, but it would be an SAP machine learning algorithm that would look into it, analyze, understand, and store it in S4. Next step would be with machine learning as well, where you can automatically match the payments with open receivables and clear the payment afterwards. So far, no human intervention. Fourth step, the system alerts the person that one of the invoice due was excluded from that payment. So it's an intelligent system that only focuses on exceptions. This exception is an alert that triggers Ted's attention. He knows I have something to do here. Next step is after the contact with the customer and the creation of a dispute case, a bot, again, automatically sends out an email confirmation with the dispute case number. And the next step could be that another bot monitors the mailbox for any reply related to these dispute cases. And in case of a reply, of course, it would attach the customer reply to the case itself. And last but not least, and this is something that is planned in Q3 2023, the new SP Digital Assistant concept, where our end user Ted could use the assistant to find the collection work list item. a pretty simple example that illustrates very well that a different step of an absolute standard process, like invoice to cash, the human intervention is really focusing on the exceptions. Everything else could basically be automated by the one or the other technologies like SAP Build Process Automation, machine learning, or SAP Digital Assistant. We talked about SAP Build Process Automation and the bots, and I'd like to share the big picture here. What you see in the middle of this picture are the capabilities of SAP Build Process Automation, from processes and workflow, forms, task automation, which is center stage, obviously, a unified launchpad, business rules and decision, pre-built content, documentation, and transparency on the process themselves. This SAP Build Process Automation delivers here an out of the box, after each new release of SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition, automations and bring automations to the next level. What you can see here as well is that we have integrated, as per the announcement of the last decade, SAP Signavio solution together with SAP Build Process Automation to be able to enable more than 135 tailored processes improvement recommendation that can be automated, automatically triggered, automatically executed to help you, our customers, continuously monitor your own processes, automate them as needed. I'd like to give two examples, concrete in the context of SAP S/4HANA. I think in SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud, we kind of think in scope items. And when it comes to central invoice management, which is an absolute key scenario in the entire suite, we have a scope item called 6GX. So this is the name of the scope item. And we have an automation bots for this area. And if you look at the simple chart that we have here, it's starting obviously with the supplier sending an email with an invoice in attachment. The attachment could be in PDF, JPEG, whatever. The bot will then scan each and every Android email, looking at the keywords, looking at attachment, extract the key attachment, right? And there are two cases. In case of success, it will continue to monitor the email and put them in the Outlook success folders. In case of failure, it can be sent back. And ultimately, the bot will upload the files into central invoice management system, create the supplier invoice as per draft modus, and then the bot would send the status email back to confirm via email so the user can view the result in SIM. Great business value here for the customers. Less time and effort in processing email, less time in uploading, or less to no time in uploading files to the system. Email tracking, I think, is a very interesting feature because we all work a lot with emails and get most of things to our attention via our inbox. And of course, the side benefits is higher accuracy of extracting the data from the system and entering data into the system. And of course, fast data upload that is completely transparent for the end user because we leverage a standard API for that. Another example here is with the mass upload of timesheet entry. So again, a scenario that is very common at customers. With SAP Build Automation, you have the ability with the scope item 4JJ, that's its name, to create a new timesheet. Or there's an alternative that is for an updated or deleted timesheet. So here, the same kind of process. It automates the mass upload or the update or deletion of the time records of an employee. The context is commercial project. It simply fetches the data of an Excel file. We do have a lot of customers that really work day in, day out with Excel. So we have to include Excel as we design the process and automate the process. And after cycling through the entries in the input file, the bot updates or deletes the time entries via the Manage Workforce Timesheet API. This is center stage in S4. And there's, of course, a log report that is compiled and stored locally in the success and error folders within the base folder that is configured in Cloud Factory. Again, huge reduction of manual effort and time to maintain, to analyze, and prepare all the reclassification entries. I think next is a quick overview of SAP Intelligent Robotic Process Automation, so the SAP Store. It has not been renamed yet, but it will happen very soon. And what is very nice here is that you can go into content exploration, sorry about that, and search for the latest SAP S/4HANA Cloud bots, and you can see here the one that are delivered, outbound delivery, post-good issues for non-warehouse, etc., etc. And if you pick any, like the creation of inbound delivery, this one, you get a problem statement, the solution that is provided by the dots, you get some documentation, you get the process overview, for example. Let me just grab this one. It's what you see here, so very similar to what we just presented. And this is available for every customers, every partners. And again, we systematically create new bots to automate the best practices that we ship with SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition. As soon as there's a new release, you will find new bots that are available. If you want to know more about the latest and greatest bots, you can go to the Best Practice Explorer as well, where you see the best practices, where you see the analytical best practices for your ERP, and you see as well the bots that are available for you. And with that, I thank you for listening to our introduction. I hand over to our next speakers.
Thank you, Yannick. I'm the next speaker. So first, let me share my screen. So now you should be able to see my screen.
Yes.
Now we come to situation handling. I will start with an introduction and explain a standard use case for physical inventory counting. Afterwards, my colleague Tala will then explain how to model own use cases for situation handling using the extended framework and demo how he modeled an example use case for professional services. In addition, we will provide you with documentation and links. So first, coming to the introduction. A lot of business situations require attention, like exceeding budgets, expiring or consumed contracts, process issues, nearing deadlines, or pending confirmations. And if not handled properly and timely, this can have severe consequences like avoidable costs, frustrated staff, or even the loss of customers. Situation handling is used to resolve such issues requiring attention. See here on the slide. It automatically recognizes those urgent and important issues, and it identifies users responsible using responsibility management. Situation handling provides intelligent support to make the right decisions. Monitoring capabilities and data context creation enable advanced analytics and automation. Situations are signaled to the user responsible with notifications in the Fiori Launchpad. When the user chooses to pick up a notification based on the text shown, the issue is displayed in a situation page with related information, solution proposal, and navigation links into the application. With the applications, situations can be indicated in the list and object pages with a situation icon, see here on the slide, and a pop-up for progressive information, also shown here on this slide. In this figure, let me explain you the difference between this so-called standard framework of situation handling and the extended framework, which Talal later will explain. With the standard framework, as you can see here, you can manage out of the box situation handling templates, and you can adjust an out of the box scenario to your needs. Give you an example, you will adjust the text of a notification. You can do this here in the standard framework. The extended framework enables you to create your own use cases by managing situation objects and situation scenarios. Using the standard framework, you can benefit from 109 use cases pre-delivered as situation templates. And the good thing is they are ready to use out of the box. And you can analyze details and automate resolutions with the intelligent situation automation service on the SAP Business Technology Platform, shortly called SAP BTP. On the right side, you see extended situation handling. With the extended framework, you can model, as mentioned before, your own business objects or situation objects, situations, scenarios, and situation templates. But this later will Talal explain to you. Now I come to the standard part of situation handling, the pre-delivered use cases with situation handling. So let me show you in SAP Help, where you find the list of 109 pre-delivered use cases. So here, let us open the SAP Help. You see here under process management, you will find situation handling. And if you go here to this node, use cases for situation handling, oh, it's a bit slow. Okay, now we have the list here. You see there are all situation handling templates listed. And for instance, I'm responsible in our team for supply chain, so I'm interested in physical inventory. So I'm searching here for inventory, and you see here as an example, the situation handling template for physical inventory monitoring as an example. And let me explain you this, how this is working. Coming back to the slide. I show you here in process flow for physical inventory counting. You see the process starts by creating physical inventory documents. If desired, you can print the documents. You perform the physical count of stock. And after doing the counting, you can analyze whether there are differences between the counted stock and the real stock or the posted stock in the system. And at least you have to post the inventory documents. But before you post, maybe you want to recount if the differences are too high. And with situation handling, you can now automate the notification to the responsible persons and also automate this process, especially here, this loop completely. I'll give you an example with this yellow bar, or this yellow arrow here. I'll give you an example for notifying the warehouse clerk that he or she should count. This is mentioned here, but there are also various other scenarios possible. Two of them are shown here in this process flow with the orange arrow. Maybe here, this one shows the role of the inventory manager who has to post the documents at the end of the process. And you can also notify this business user that there are open documents for posting. Or, this is the third example here, you can notify the plant manager that there are differences in the system between the counted stock and the posted stock. And maybe the difference exceeds a threshold which you have defined in the system. And as mentioned before, with intelligent situation automation, you can use a rules engine from the BTP platform and make it complex as you want. I mentioned this process flow without showing you this in the system because I have recorded an open SAP microlearning exactly for this use case of notifying the warehouse clerk for counting. And you will find this in the system. Please watch this microlearning. And if you are interested how to enhance this scenario with intelligent situation automation by using the rules framework from BTP, there's also here on this slide a link with a blog post. And with this, I'm at the end of my part. And now I hand over to my colleague Talal to explain the extended framework of situation handling. So Talal, I stop sharing here.
Hi, Gerhard. Thank you so much for the introduction. First of all, what I will be doing is I will switch to sharing my slide deck.
We can see this slide. Oh, no. Can you share again, Talal?
Yeah, just about to do that.
Now we see your PowerPoint in presenter mode, right?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so Gerhard, thank you so much for the introduction. My name is Syed Talal Hussain, and I will be covering two topics here. I will be covering the situation handling, whatever is the left of the topic, and also the machine learning ISLM part. We'll go one by one with it. A quick recap. Gerhard just explained there are two types of use cases in situation handling. One is the pre-delivered use cases, and the other one is the custom use cases. I will go on explaining the custom use case scenario. All right, so I want you to have a look at this picture and keep in mind the four steps that I have mentioned here. So the modeling of a custom use case happens in 4 steps. First of all, you create a situation object, which defines the connection to the application artifacts. Application data is accessed through CDS views, and standard events are used as triggers for timely reactions. Next up is the situation scenario, where you define a business scope for the anchor object, which can include multiple trigger objects. The situation page layout is also defined here. Third step is the situation template that captures the use case and is defined from the scenario. And number 4 is the situation type, which is finally copied from the template. You may modify the conditions and text as required. Please keep in mind, these objects and scenarios and templates are defined in the test system and then later on transported to the productive system. At the bottom, you can see a slide that this is how it maps to our example custom use case, that is the professional services. I will later on go into more details and also show you in the system how it works. But for now, keep in mind these 4 steps and we will be using them later on. So this goes for our introduction to the professional use case that we have for situation handling. The demo use case that we are talking about right now is the unstaffed resource requests. Our objective is to inform the project managers about resource requests for which staffing is not confirmed. The background of this use case can be something like project managers can manage a project using the plan customer projects and plan internal projects apps, which includes planning work packages and resources that are required for that. The pain point here is keeping track of project staffing, which can be quite a challenging task. And in order to do that, I'll show how project managers can be informed about resource requests that are pending staffing. Before we jump into the system to show the demo, I would like to also give you 5 basic steps that you need to keep in mind when you start modeling your own custom use case, in this case for situation handling. Step 1, think about the outcome you want to achieve and work backwards from there. So in our case, we wanted to inform the project manager for change in resource staffing. So we'll work backwards from this point. Step 2 is to identify the technical artifacts needed to realize the use case. And we move on with defining the responsibility context. In the step 4, we will create a situation object, situation scenario, situation template, and situation type. We will also modify them as we see fit for our particular case. And step 5 is preparing business data and testing the use case. Keep in mind, think about what kind of data you would like your users to see. Before going into the demo, since I will be switching screens, I would like you to have a look at these documents and links. So these are SAP Help Portal links. These are best practices that you can look into, blog posts that explain a lot of content about the extended framework that I'm presenting right now, and also the SAP community for intelligent situation handling, where we would like to encourage you to participate with us and collaborate and ask questions however you need. I will now switch to the demo.
We can see the demo now, Talan.
Yeah, all right. So here is our demo that we will be looking into. Before I get started, I would like to also remind to keep in mind the 5 steps that were mentioned. And let's begin with it. If there are any resource requests for the end user that need to be staffed, the project manager will automatically be notified in the Fiori Launchpad. The notifications can be found in the bell button, which is located at the top right of the screen. And from the notifications, they can navigate into the situation page, where they will see project and resource planning data, as well as related apps like Plan Customer Projects, and they can then navigate in to solve the situation. Additionally, the end user can also go to My Situations Extended app, where they will find an overview of all the open situations per scenario. Here, just like the notification, the user can navigate to the respective situation page by clicking on one of these entries. So let's see how you can model this custom situation handling use case in SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition. First, let's look at the resource request object in the Manage Situation Objects app. In this object, we collected all the technical artifacts that are needed to identify situations related to resource requests. We also defined a custom CDS view that we have created for this use case as a structure in the object. And we also maintained a couple of navigation targets for the Plan Customer Projects and Plan Internal Projects app, and defined also the buttons for these apps in the end user section. Then let's move on to the situation scenario in the Manage Situation Scenarios app. You can connect situation objects to a scenario for the resource request scenario. We established a responsibility rule that allows us to inform the project manager about unstaffed resource requests in the project that they are responsible for. And we defined that in the project management responsibility context. The anchor object for this scenario is the resource request object represented by the unique key field, resource request view ID. You can also configure the triggers for this anchor object in the situation triggers tab. For this particular use case, we created one trigger for unstaffed effort. The trigger is batch-based. However, you can also create event-based triggers if you include events in your situation object. Just like anchor object, the trigger object is also the resource request in this case. The layout of the situation page is defined in the situation page layout tab. By going there, as you can see, I defined 2 sections. for the situation page, the project section, and the resource planning section. For each of these, we associated the CDS data fields that we wanted to display to the end user. And finally, we chose the navigation targets, defined in the situation object as trigger-specific actions. Now let's move on to the Manage Situation Types extended app. Here you can create your custom situation template and situation types. I created a template for unstaffed resource requests based on the situation scenario that we just looked at. We have the batch-based trigger created in the scenario for this template. And we also defined one condition and a couple of default conditions as well. In this case, for the conditions, we are focusing on team resources with status pending. We associated situation display 1 to this condition and maintained the situation text that appears on top of the situation page, the notification text, and the public text that will appear in emails. In the navigation actions, we maintained the navigation targets that are relevant for this trigger. If you go to the previous screen, we will also want to highlight that we associated to this template the custom responsibility rule, notify project manager in the recipients tab. After creating the template, the final step is the creation of the situation type. Situation type unstaffed resource request for customer project is already created. With this situation type, we want to inform project managers about resource requests and ongoing customer projects that are not staffed yet, though the activities are set to start in the next 30 days. In this particular case, we made a few changes to the content that was inherited from the situation template, particularly in the situation trigger. There are additional filters maintained for this project for project type, project stage, and resource request start date. Additionally, in the trigger-specific actions, the navigation target for internal projects is removed, since we are now focusing on customer projects only. Going one step back, you will have the flexibility to schedule your batch job at different recurrence patterns. In this case, we have chosen the job to run on a daily basis at 9 a.m. And with that, completes the configuration for a custom professional services use case. Thank you. I will be now switching to my slide deck. All right, so that concludes our topic for situation handling, and I will be moving on to artificial intelligence, machine learning, ISLM section. Basically, I want you to have a quick overview of what ISLM is and what are the key benefits of ISLM, being Intelligent Scenario Lifecycle Management. ISLM is a framework that allows you to perform lifecycle management operations on machine learning scenarios in SAP S/4HANA. ISLM is the single entry point with SAP S/4HANA stack to efficiently integrate and operate machine learning scenarios. This standardized framework is delivered in BASIS and comes as part of standard SAP S/4HANA Suite license. It offers comprehensive support to build and operate intelligent applications built on various technologies and platforms. Here are key benefits of ISLM listed. The basic benefit of ISLM comes from the fact that it requires minimal coding while improving the efficiency and capability of the system. Later on, we will have a quick look at the demo for ISLM. And before I do that, I want you to have a look at these resources later on and go through them and engage with us through the community. I will be switching to the demo now. All right, so For the demo for ISLM, ISLM comes with powerful Fiori apps in the Intelligent Scenarios app. Business admin can explore the out-of-the-box scenario and create custom scenarios to solve specific machine learning problems. What you can do is you can filter out-of-the-box scenarios based on line of business, like finance, sales, and service. Business admin can see information like Fiori app ID, help center documentation, etc. ISLM also supports custom creation based on SAP AI Core, business entity recognition, document attribute recognition, and some app-specific services like intelligent intercompany reconciliation. In the next step, let's see how ISLM simplifies the integration and machine learning operations. To create custom intelligence scenarios in ISLM, you need to select the scenario type and provide prediction class. Next step would be to set up a connection between intelligent scenarios in S/4HANA and document attribute recognition service instance in BTP. Technical admin can specify the service key in ISLM, and connection is automatically created. Remember to check the connection, and once the connection is checked, press Done and Save. Also remember, you can do a prerequisite check, which can be performed to figure out whether SAP delivered use case will work in customer's system in terms of data quantity and business-specific configuration. Prerequisite checks should be performed before starting machine learning operations. Here you can see how a prerequisite check looks like. And once done, we can move forward to training a business model, so machine learning model. Business admin can train the model. For doing that, specify the model name and artifacts, monitor the training status, press Save. Open the model metrics by selecting the model. Here you can look at some specific attributes. For example, accuracy, recall, and precision, which shows the quality of data and the quality of model that is trained. Once confirmed, press the deploy button to deploy it to the system. In this case, we'll move back. Also keep in mind, ISLM provides ABAP API to easily integrate inference result in business app. After the activate button, we will have a look at the sample code, how this can be done. Here we have a sample program where inference request can be provided and response from document attribute recognition model can be seen. And result is obtained. And that concludes the demo for machine learning ISLM. Thank you so much. And I would like to hand over to Maria for the next section. Thank you.
Thank you, Talal. So let me share my screen now too. 1 second. Okay. So, hi, this is Maria with a quick update on another artificial intelligence innovation with the focus on collaboration. Here we have the SAP Collaboration Manager, with which we are replacing the human-to-human chat function of the former SAP Copilot in the 3-system landscape. So it is generally available as of SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition 2302 for 3SL customers. And it is directly integrated in the SAP Fiori Launchpad. And for now, you can take notes in a chat with yourself, chat with other users, and upload and share files. But there will be further features already with the next SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition 2308 release. There is, of course, a subscription and integration with SAP Collaboration Manager. That's the prerequisite for it. And without any further ado, let me show you what it looks like. 1 second. So we are in the system here, and over there is the little chat bubble with the SAP Collaboration Manager. You can see here all the chats that you've created. And now we are going to create a new chat with ourselves to take notes. So you go to that little eye icon there and you can title it. We will just title it Memo to Myself and save it. And we will not invite anyone in there. You can take notes. For example, you can write something like, let sales rep know that I released purchase requisition 0220. I'm really going off what we have here. We can say something else like, don't forget to check stock transfer orders. And this is really just a note to yourself. You can write a grocery list if you want to. You could make it collaborative now, but people will see everything that you wrote. So if this information is just for your own eyes only, you would rather create a new chat and invite people there. So here you can invite somebody. We will invite sales representative. And then you can see Paul Peterson, which is us in this case, invited sales representative. You can now rename the chat as well. Something like chat with sales rep for this demo sake, and save that. And now you can go back and see that you have here your memo, which looks a little bit different. It doesn't have this letter thing. And then also your chat with sales rep, so you can find it directly. And then we will just start chatting with them and say, hi, you asked me to release PR 0220 yesterday. I just did it. And for proof, you can now send a screenshot of this purchase requisition to them. So for this, you take a screenshot and then save it and go back to your collaboration manager and upload it with the little plus. You can either drag and drop it in there or edit with the button. You just choose your screenshot and upload it. And it will take a little second, but then you can see it, that it's sent. And they can see it on their side immediately and also respond. We have to wait now a little bit for the reply. And let's go. Ah, there it is. And they answered, cool, thanks so much, Paul. And that was it from my side. So now let me share this again on current slide. So before we start with the Q&A, we have some links here where you can learn, engage, and implement. And we can start now the Q&A part.
Thank you very much, Maria, and everyone else. Yeah, Q&A means we're open for questions. As mentioned earlier, you probably have seen all faces or names at least on this call because of their activity in the community, writing a lot of blog posts where you're very welcome to follow up. Yeah, from what you've seen, post your questions. And I see already in chat one related question, of course, a very trending question at the moment. And that is related to ChatGPT. Any ideas to integrate ChatGPT with SAP S/4HANA Cloud? Asked by Akshay. Thank you for the question. And who would like to take the answer? Or, I mean, if there is an answer.
Yeah, happy to take that. Thanks, Menina. Our board has already communicated right after the acquisition that we're looking at use case on our end. And of course, as soon as we have the first results of use cases, integration use case between ChatGPT and SAP ERP processes or industry processes, we will definitely inform our customers, inform our partners. We'll certainly go via the community to go out as always when it comes to our team. And again, technology always comes at its best at the heart of business processes, and we will see what ChatGPT can do for business processes, for business users.
Thanks for your answer, Yannick. So yeah, everyone, you can follow up in the community on latest news updates shared by our experts. Maybe meanwhile, so everyone is still invited to ask questions. Meanwhile, maybe I have a question to you, Gerhard, on the roadmap of situation handling. Is there something that you can already share? What can be expected, or yeah, is it possible even to share? Oh, you're on mute, in case you're speaking.
Sorry, no.
Thank you.
I haven't looked in the roadmap, but I want to use your question to me regarding situation handling to answer a question which I often get during on my OpenSAP microlearning, which I expect also here, but maybe meanwhile everybody knows it. But I'm often asked if we can only notify users via the SAP Fiori Launchpad, or if it's also possible to send out emails. And I want to show you here. Maybe can I share for a second again?
Yes, of course.
I want to show the audience where to find this in the SAP help. So do you see my screen again?
No, not yet. It's coming up, I guess, in a second.
Oh no, I have to press an additional
and
button.
Share.
Okay. No,
yeah,
you
here
should.
It is.
Perfect. So let us go again to the SAP help. So I showed in my presentation part how to find your situation handling and the use cases out of the box. And here you find under notifications this important part. If you have this question, how to notify via email, this is answered here in the SAP help, how to do it.
Oh, that's great. So also if I wanted to really get detailed descriptions about the scenarios, is this where I would find them?
Right. As I showed before,
yeah,
you see
use
here
cases.
all the, how is it going? You see here all the out-of-the-box situation handling templates. And also what I can really recommend if you are interested in this, here you see the chapter situation handling videos. This is clustered by line of businesses, and maybe going to supply chain. As an example, you see here there are several videos. Yes, and video for transport over or order overdue, or maybe you can also go to procurement. They have a lot of situation handlings, or finance and so on, or especially responsibility management. So this is really helpful, the SAP help.
That's great. Cool. No, that's very helpful, as you say. And let me look into the live chat. And yeah, again, I mean, even if you're watching the recording and you have questions afterwards, you know where you can find the speakers, where you can follow up, just dig into the community, find already asked questions, blog posts that our colleagues have posted, and just connect with everyone and stay up to date.
Maybe I can answer or add something here.
Sure.
To your original question. Currently, I haven't looked in the roadmap about what is planned and innovations in the pure situation handling framework itself. But if you look through our roadmap and also what we rolled out in the last releases, you see that in each release, in different applications like shown, supply chain, finance, procurement, sales, you will find new out-of-the-box scenarios which are really helpful for customers and you can use.
Mm-hmm. No, great. And maybe it was really just a teaser or whatever in the direction that, the audience, everyone watching, you can follow the tag and then there will be some details shared once they're
maybe
ready.
one additional comment. Now I said currently we have 109 out-of-the-box situation handling templates.
Mm-hmm.
If you look maybe in a month or in 3 months, my estimation is that this number will increase steadily.
Oh, yeah, that's good to know.
But to analyze this, you have to look on the roadmap of each LOB and look if there is a new situation handling scenario planned or not.
Mm-hmm. Right, I do see another question coming in also on situation handling. Extended framework is the place where you do your extension. Situation handling extended framework.
Okay, I can take this question. So to me, it sounds like the question is about how do you extend the use cases or do custom use cases? Where is the place to do it? So yes, that is correct. The extended framework offers that capability. And as I showed you in the steps one by one, please go through this demo and you will get a step-by-step instruction on how you can actually achieve this. And in order to do that, you will use the extended framework. And there is also an app that I have shown in the demo that says Situation Handling Extended Framework app. So click on that, follow the instructions. A lot of help is available on the community page, also on the demos, microlearnings. And if you want to know more, I have shared the link for the Intelligent ERP community. And please feel free to engage with us. We are happy to help.
Perfect. Yeah, I also shared them in the chat. The presentation, we will add a link to the YouTube video so you can find it afterwards. We'll also add it in the community to the event listing of this community call, so you can always refer back to it, to all the slides and links that have been shared. All right, I think we're good on our end. Is there anything else that you, our speakers, would like to share or bring up now towards the audience? And maybe let's unshare the screen so we can see everyone here of you.
I can mention one last thing. So we have a lot of blog posts. If you go to blogs.sap.com, we have a lot of blog posts on intelligent ERP that cover the topics from artificial intelligence and situation handling, machine learning, all of the topics that we presented today. We cover them with every release cycle and provide step-by-step updates for customers and partners being the main focus. So please feel free to go to the blogs, blogs.sap.com, and search for a blog post with intelligent ERP.
Just one tiny addition. We're also working on a blog post for the SAP Collaboration Manager with all important information. So that will come in the next couple of days. So stay tuned for that also.
That sounds great.
Thank you.
And Gerhard,
maybe one last thing.
Yes.
Yeah, one last thing. I would like to mention that as a team, we are maintaining an intelligent ERP blog collection with basically since, I would say, 4 years, based on a product update, a collection of the technology we mentioned today by release, by lines of business or industries, or then explanation of technologies. Would be great, Menina, if you could put the link to everyone so they can follow. So it's under my name, but it's a team contribution. Like there's content coming from Talal, from Maria, from Gerhard, and of course the rest of the team. You can of course subscribe to a blog, as you know, so you get notified as soon as there's something new. And again, always, as I said, and I insisted, the beauty of those intelligent technologies is when they come to life in their business processes, and we explain that. We explain the evolution of the technology, but how they really enrich the one or the other process.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. Yeah, happy to share the link. Hey, since we're live and another question just popped in at the last minute, we can still take it. It's a partner-related question. Can partners list, build process automation scenarios and monetize it? Maybe as a last question, and then we'll end the call.
So different possibilities here. Simple answer is of course it's always possible to monetize content that comes from the partner. We have different options here. For example, in the SAP Store, you might have noticed the early initiative from financial compliance management to create your own compliance content, put it in the SAP Store, and customers can download and buy it. It's certainly the case for automation processes, for bots. It depends on the business processes. For the one processes, we would recommend the one technology. For other business processes, maybe another technology.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. With that, we wish you all a very great rest of the day, week, and hope to see you in upcoming live streams again. Thank you very much for listening, for watching, for raising your questions. And also thank you very much for our speakers taking their time to be an active key part in this SAP community call. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for having us again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.